Let's talk about the power of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is such a big part of the way we act, why we act, and how we go about things. So if you want to change your life, you need to understand this. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rips. This is my simplified version on how to really become aware and try to work in the better direction for self-growth. So grab a paper, grab a pen. I want you to write this down. To start off, we would need the definition. And in my words, subconscious is the unseen thoughts, actions, and feelings towards a certain subject or a certain feeling. So getting a very basic definition of the subconscious mind, you start to think that a lot of the way we act without thinking, we do it. Some habits can be when people react out in anger, whenever people have certain traditions and habits. It's all from the subconscious mind that whenever you don't know why you're doing it, but you do. So the brain knows how to catch and look for signals. So sometimes you'll be sitting in front of someone and the way they're acting, you start to feel uneasy. That's conscious, but the subconscious picked up the micro expressions, the micro movements the person in front of you is doing. So that's where the uneasy feeling comes from. So with the subconscious mind, you might want to change some things. You don't want to keep everything the same. How would you do that? And to fix any issue, you need to be aware of it. Let's acknowledge the problem. A couple of ways to acknowledge a problem is through meditation, journaling, and talking to someone or a therapist. Each of them are different and one person might find one better than the other. For me, journaling is the best thing. I open my journal and I just start writing. I start becoming aware of these emotions. I start becoming aware of more underground things that my body is either trying to tell me or trying to see that I consciously haven't come out with yet. Everyone has their own different methods. Some people like talking more, so talking to someone else might help you out. You've reached the point where you started writing all these things, or you figured out what root cause is or what subconscious thing is, and you know what you're wanting to change. So let's say you want to change your self-talk. You are your biggest enemy and you want to change that. You have to figure out what in your head is going on and why you're saying all these things. What are you saying and why are you saying all these negative things about yourself? So let's say in this scenario, you have a lot of negative self-image issues. You have really bad voice and your self-love is at an all-time low. You want to change that. So now you've already written down this. You figured that that's the problem and you listen to the thoughts and you want to change that. So now journaling questions you can ask yourself would be, where did this habit start? What am I feeling? When did I first feel this feeling or act this way? And does this ring a bell from childhood? These 4 questions are really open-ended and give a lot of space for the mind to really be free. So once you ask yourself these 4 questions, and you can play around with the questions in what order and anything. This habit started ever since I went to school, let's say. I remember in school that whenever I wasn't near my parents, I just felt like I had a negative voice in my head. What am I feeling? I'm feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, and other people are better than me unless I'm told I'm good enough. When did this feeling start? When did I first feel this feeling and act this way? Ever since school, as we mentioned. Does this ring a bell from childhood? Yes, it does, because using the scenario with ringing a bell in childhood, now we're gonna stem down to, why do I feel this way? Why did I get all this negative self-talk? And why does it always happen when my parents are not around? Or even when my parents are not praising me? So now you kind of can put it 2 and 2 together and you're saying, oh wait, so if my parents aren't praising me, I don't feel like I'm good enough. What does that mean? It means that I always took the validation of other people and used that as my validation versus me validating myself and having other people learn to validate me. When you are fixing this, one of the most crucial things is please, please, please do not judge yourself. Do not judge yourself for the past, because the past is something we cannot change. So the more you hate on yourself, the more you're rude and pressure yourself, the less you're gonna want to change, because you're just gonna want to avoid it in all purposes, because more judging, it's literally adding to the voices. It's adding to all this negative self-talk. Now you figure it out that you're just so used to the validation of other people and you want to change that. So we start off with a goal. I actually have another video on how to set like goals, but to condense it, make it really easy right now, you have the goal that you want to have a better self-talk, right? Let's narrow it down. What step can I take right now that's so small I can change it today? Let's say it's when I wake up, I look in the mirror and I say, you are so beautiful, you are so kind, you are so smart. Self-affirmations, or listening to affirmations on YouTube. It can be anything, just one small thing that you can consistently stick on. So let's say you wake up and you decide to look yourself in the mirror every day and give yourself one compliment that's different from what you did yesterday. You do that for 3 weeks in a row. That's 21 days. You just did this habit. Obviously, there's going to be good and bad days, but the consistency is what matters. Something I like to do whenever I start to analyze myself or analyze a habit that I'm trying to change is I close my eyes and I just don't let myself think or analyze. I just listen. So you start listening to these self-thoughts and you're like, okay, has this changed? Is the way I'm speaking to myself? You become extra observant in situations whenever you are alone. Am I still craving that validation from people? And of course, such a big habit is not going to be done in 3 weeks, but am I noticing changes? That's the question you want to ask yourself. And let's say in 3 weeks, you don't notice any changes. You're going to continue to do it. It does not mean give up. It just means you need a little bit more time. Not every habit is going to change in the first 3 weeks. It's not going to change in a day. It's going to take time, and everyone is on their own timeline. So after 3 weeks, let's say no changes happened, you're going to continue. You're going to notice, is there anything I can modify that's been working for me? It's not working for me, but you continue. Let's say there is some change. Is it positive change? Is it negative change? The most important thing is just to listen to yourself, to listen to those thoughts without judgment, without fear, because the more judgment you have, the less likely you are to be in touch with yourself, to listen to those subconscious thoughts, to listen to those signals that are trying to be given to you, because your body will act out in it in one way or another. It's the same thing as whenever an event occurs to us, your body stores it. Your body stores everything and remembers it. Even if you physically don't remember it, your mind, your body stores everything. So let's say you are changing. You are already doing so good. Well, what's next? How can I take this a step further? Or do I feel like I already fully have gotten rid of these voices? Now, once you do analyze yourself and you're like, you know what? I feel like I've completely changed this mindset. I've started to love myself, and I started to take these negative thoughts, and I no longer notice myself craving other people's validation. Okay, well, now how can I grow even more? How can I become a better version of myself now? Because the thing about us is it's never going to be point A to B. We start a journey and it opens. Don't expect to go from A to B and you're done. So the way your brain had originally wired itself to crave that validation, to crave that love from other people, now your goal is to slowly rewire and to slowly change the way your brain talks to itself. So now it will subconsciously be nicer to you, encourage you, tell you to do better. I am not a professional, so please consult a professional if you want more information regarding this. This is just my advice and what had worked for me. The subconscious thoughts are always going to shape your habits, and it's only going to continue to the next generation and the next generation. You be the person that starts to change the cycle. Don't continue it. Thank you so much for watching. I know you're going to do great. Leave a comment with your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.